Clint Norris Show.
We are live. Leigh, how is Louisiana treating you?
We're finally getting out of the hot season for the less hot season because I don't think it ever truly gets cold here except maybe in February.
Do you prefer the colder weather?
Oh yeah. I sweat too easy, and then I don't want to have to go outside and change my shirt every quarter part of the day.
I'm the exact same way. I started sweating.
Really?
I started sweating really bad from my armpits in third grade.
Oh, dude, I remember.
Ever since then.
I remember like seventh grade. It was like middle school. Everybody goes through weird puberty moments, and it was like I had to wear like the thickest white undershirt through my blue polos, just to make sure I didn't have that sweat stain. I might have one now, just to make sure I didn't have that sweat stain. Okay, but I haven't been outside much. But I was always insecure that a girl was going to see it. But
that's okay. She can see the
McNasty orchids. That's right.
Did you grow up in Louisiana?
Yeah, I was born and raised in central Louisiana forever.
How was your childhood? Because I mean, do you know who Theo Vaughn is? He's got some crazy childhood stories. I don't know if he's kidding or like.
Believe it or not, we had some characters, some cats like him. Not to that extent, but there was a lot going on in a small town. I think we're both from small towns. But there are some weird stories that go on in small country towns like that. So everything that he says, I'm like, I believe it.
There's always that one kid, though, in your neighborhood who's just a compulsive liar. Like, did you have one?
Oh my gosh, I had one all the time. Like, we would collect Pokemon cards, and there was a dude that said, oh yeah, I've got the rarest one, sold it to my uncle for $1,000. Just all kinds of weird stuff. Yeah, I guess in a small town, there's not much else to do though besides lie and drugs.
That's true. We had a kid in our neighborhood who, in the year 1998, said he already got a PS2, and we all wanted to go to his house and see it, but he wouldn't let us in.
Oh yeah, it just ironically breaks every time you go see it.
Yeah, it's actually my dad's, and it's in his room. So I can't get it today.
Yeah, that's how that goes. And I remember we've been playing a game called RuneScape recently, and dude, I promise you, like that same kid, he played it too, but he would always make the most obvious lies, like, oh, I slayed this dragon and got all this equipment, and I'm like, there's no dragons and stuff like that, just real obvious lies. I don't know why some people just exist and think everybody's stupid, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, Billy, it's okay. You don't have to be better than all of us.
Yeah, look, it's okay to not be as cool as everyone.
Yeah. And then those people grow up into politicians.
Yeah, that are murderers.
Yeah. Speaking of, have you watched any of the Convicting a Murderer? It just came out with what's her name? Candace Owens. It's like brand new. Are you familiar with the Making a Murderer, Stephen Avery documentary?
Oh no, I live under a rock, man. I don't.
Oh really?
Unless somebody puts it on for me and says watch it, then I normally don't watch anything.
That's okay. You probably better wait.
I normally just watch the same reruns of deer hunting. I guess that could be the same as like Catching a Murderer or something like that, though.
That's probably a better way to spend your time, though, because I mean, with certain documentaries, they can just pull you in so quickly.
Did you watch that Jeffrey Dahmer show?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, that one messed me up a little bit. That was kind of weird. So
I just would fast forward a little bit, be like, "Yep, don't need to see that. Don't need to see that."
I watched it all in its glory, and at the end of the day, like that, I just felt weird, especially knowing that that's how it all went down. And hey, that was a wild time.
I still can't believe he did not make the qualifications for insanity. Like, how can you do all that and like still be sane?
Yeah, he got like a rush off of it. That's wild. Because it's weird to know that some people's brains work like that they sit there and just fantasize. Like, if I was looking at you right now, like, man, I'd love to take this coffee mug and just bash in it. Just
Yeah.
it's just weird. I've never had that thought, and it's just because we don't think like that doesn't mean other people don't.
That's true. Yeah. On a lighter note, are you a fan of Blink-182?
I don't really keep up with them.
They announced today that they are releasing a new album.
Oh, really?
Yeah, October 20th.
I know a lot of people that listen to that, but I think during that time I listened to more lame bands when they were more popular.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, like when it came to music in school, like that was kind of like how TV shows and movies are for me. Like I would listen to the same 5 songs over and over because I've lived under a rock forever. But unless I heard it in somebody's vehicle while riding with them and got to ask what this song is called, then I wouldn't really. My library of music knowledge and artist was super low.
You just know what you like, though.
Yeah, and I don't need a lot. I'm the type to where I told my sister today I found some new music and I really like it, but I know how it's going to go. The next 4 months, that's all I'm going to listen to. I don't know.
So you kind of have phases when you listen to music.
Oh, yeah.
Like, okay, what do you listen to at the gym?
At the gym, I'll turn on like a rap playlist I have on YouTube. But I've gotten to a point to where like listening to too much rap just kind of gives me a headache at the end of it. So sometimes I'll listen to more of some rock style music. I've even listened to Christian worship music in the gym before, but I don't know. It's just, I guess it's whatever my mood is for that day.
Are you doing like deadlifts when you're in the gym, or?
I would do deadlifts, but since I go to PF Chang's Planet Fitness, we don't really. I mean, you could do deadlifts, but we have the Smith machine, and I've tried it there, and it would always scrape my shins up because I can't move it like I want. But I've been trying really hard to go towards the route of a little lighter weight but more reps. Because back in the day, I was real heavy, but I was real strong. I got up to curling 60 pounds a couple of times, but at the end, I just didn't like how it looked. So I guess my thought is maybe get out of that ego lifting mindset and drop weight to try to look and feel better.
You looked a little different too, right? Because I think you showed me on your Facebook, you had a completely different look. Like you had shorter hair, you had like no facial hair.
When like years ago?
Yeah, like forever ago. I don't know if that was.
Oh yeah, no, I used to have the shaved sides and fade up here with like the gelled over, and if I did a beard, I'd never had a mustache. I don't know why. I thought it was weird to have a mustache, but now it's just. I think now I'm kind of going back to my roots of like Stone Age man.
Do you like having longer hair?
I do. I remember when I started growing it out, I cut it because I was in that awkward phase of it being around like here. I was in a phase too of like, I would enjoy a girlfriend or something, but I look stupid right now because my hair is all weird. And then the day I cut it, I sat there was like, shouldn't have done that. And I've thought about it now. There are some times that I'm like, it would be kind of cool to go back to shorter hair, but I just know that same feeling would come up. And like my dad says, he's like, well, no, you can't cut your hair now because that's your trademark.
Is it easier to do rather than having a fade and kind of like mine, how I have to like use gel every day?
Oh yeah, I saved a lot of money. So I mean, if the amount of times I woke up with short hair with the lamest looking cowlick and stuff, and not being able to get my hair right and hating it, rinsing all the gel out, man, that got old. And I felt like I was spending like $25 every week for a haircut. But now it's like the only time I go get a haircut, I just get my ends trimmed or something like that. But it's a lot less stressful.
Have you ever thought about growing out like a long, like super long beard?
I have before, and I don't like how it looks on me because, like, I don't know if you can see it, but I don't have. If my beard line went from my cheeks up here, I think it would look pretty cool, but it doesn't. When it grows long, it's just like all down here, and I just feel like it looks weird.
Dude, I've tried so many times to grow out like a decent looking beard, and I forget how patchy my face is still. It's like I'm 33 and I still can't grow a beard.
I mean, I feel like mine's slowly come in more, but I don't know. I think there's just, to me, a better feeling with a clean face instead of beard, because I feel like I've got thicker cheeks as it is, and I don't like when my beard starts to stick out some and make my face look wider.
Kind of exaggerates it. I know what you mean. Yeah.
I need all the help I can get on looking slimmer.
I mean, you look good now.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I'm my own worst critic.
You're a young, handsome man. You're still in your 20s. That's all that matters.
I'll take your lies.
Have you gotten any other cats since then? I feel like you may have gotten a couple more.
No, unless I didn't tell you I had 3, but no, I've still got 3 cats.
Yeah, maybe I just didn't see the other ones.
Yeah, I've got one right here. She's sleeping right there. And I can see one in the kitchen right now. The other one, he's an orange bobtail cat.
You plan on getting any more like dogs or any other animals?
When I get married or something, because I don't. Yeah. The thing I like about cats, if I want to go away for like a day or like a weekend or something, I can fill up their food bowl and clean their litter boxes and go. But a dog, you got to make sure somebody's like sitting it or something, unless it's like an outside dog or something. But
is that common in Louisiana, outside dogs?
Yeah, we lived on a dirt road, and we had a man of a dog named Duke, and he would go around pimping all the other dogs, just sleeping around, going to yards, and any dog in heat was his. But I mean, like it wasn't that serious, but like in the country, he didn't run off. He knew his property, and he would hang around there. But once we moved into town, he did go through phases of when other dogs were in heat. You wouldn't see him for a week, and he'd come back just skin and bone because he's been running the roads and streets. But that was a small town. But now in a city like this, no, everybody's got backyard fences and stuff. But
the things we do for women, right?
Oh yeah. I'm not. Well, I'd be in better shape, So
it's okay. I feel like from my so I've been married for 10 years. Coming October 4th,
yeah,
right. Love Melissa dearly, but like for a lot of people, that's not gonna solve like all your problems. Like in life, it's not like the heavens are gonna descend upon you.
The heaviest I got, or when I started getting heavier, is when I started dating. So my second year of teaching, I dated a girl, always cooked for me, got heavier. After we broke up, started dating another girl, same thing. So, men, if you want to stay in shape, stay away from women.
Breakups suck. I've been there.
Yeah, that's always such a weird phase in life. It's unfortunate. I guess that's why my mind is always like, man, make sure that this person is somebody that really could be that final person. Unless you don't believe in marriage and you're fine. A chaotic lifestyle, but I'm not.
Then you end up with you knew. You fucking knew.
Yeah. My womb lands. Yeah, dude, that is. Did you see my post about that?
I did, yeah.
I hate TikTokers, man. I really do. I hate them. That's the cringiest kind of stuff. Is TikTok drama. These are grown adults posting drama online.
That was a great performance, though.
Yeah, you were in my womb lands.
Deep in my womb lands. You knew.
You freaking knew.
Yeah, she had the whole country was saying that to themselves under their breath every once in a while. You knew. Did you follow the whole what's her name? Colleen Ballinger thing?
I have no idea who that is.
Miranda Sings. Okay, well,
where she was apparently like grooming minors or something.
Yeah, so like, at first I was like super skeptical because I was like, this kid seems like a liar until she made the ukulele video, and that was like, no.
Yeah, I never looked too much into that, but I mean, I really didn't know what was going on, but I saw a lot of inappropriate things she did with kids on like stage and stuff. But once I saw the whole ukulele thing, I was like,
Yeah, well, like, plus if you're being accused of something like that, just the rage you're naturally gonna have is
Yeah.
gonna like just seep, and that didn't happen. It was a weird, awkward, like,
Oh yeah, if somebody accuses
oh
me of having
no,
that, if somebody accuses me, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, you're
If
fine.
somebody accuses me of having some initiative like that, like I'm gonna be kind of mad. I'm not gonna be like, let me break out in song and
Yeah,
musical, you know?
yeah. Do you watch any Buff Pro or Cinnamon Toast Ken? How they kind of recap Chris Hansen's old show and like rewatch them, make them entertaining?
No.
You should. It's pretty good.
Yeah, if you send them to me, I'll check them out.
Okay, yeah, Cinnamon Toast Ken and Buff Pro. Those two are just hilarious. They
Hmm.
also they also get into like currently really weird reality shows that are on like TLC that I would never watch on
Yeah.
my own, but they break it down and make it entertaining.
Did I, speaking of reality, did I tell you I was almost on a reality TV show?
No, you didn't.
I was almost on a Netflix show called The Circle. I was in like the finalist selection and all that, and every day they were saying, "Hey, send us this, send us this," and I was like in my brain, and everybody else was like, "Oh yeah, you're on it, man." And then the next day after asking for something from me, they just told me no. But I am going to be on two different shows besides that. But they're hunting shows.
What are they called?
Yeah, I think one. What's that?
What are they called?
One is called Deer and Deer Hunting TV, and the other one, he's got a couple shows, but I think it's for his show called Bear Whisperer. But he does more than just bears. I think we're gonna go for alligator. So, and ironically, that's a huge fear of mine is alligators. But I guess that would make good TV.
And then you got a podcast coming up. I don't think you've told anybody about that.
Yeah, we've got a podcast planned out. We don't really have many pages for it yet, but we do have it on YouTube called the Lay It Out podcast. It's got like the pink cursive letters, but we plan on getting an episode out sometime soon. We've been just trying to get everything in to make it look as professional as we can, but hopefully that takes off soon and hopefully it does good.
I think you guys will do good. I mean, you said you've known him for like your whole life.
Oh yeah, we've been considering each other best friends since like kindergarten.
Oh wait, is this the friend who you thought you thought like way back in the day you thought he told somebody else that you farted?
That's right. That's the one.
I'm not
And I'm going to have to confront him about that. Yeah, I can't believe you remembered that.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, I had a friend like that growing up. Name was Travis. We met in, I think, ninth grade. Me and him started
wow.
a backyard wrestling league
Oh, wow.
in my backyard.
Yeah,
I have footage of it.
I still have the same friend group from forever. Every night when we jump on our computers, we'll hop in a voice chat, and it's me and like four other early high school or elementary friends jumping on. I haven't changed. We in a small town, you really don't have time to change.
That's awesome. You guys all kept in
Yeah.
touch though, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What were you like in high school? Were you kind of like how
Weird.
you are now? Really?
I mean, I feel like I really fluctuated. Like as a kid, I was always goofy in private, like at home. In school, though, I was really insecure in elementary because like I was a little heavy set kid, and I remember being at a summer camp, and a girl just turned and looked at me and just looked me up and down and said, "You're fat," and I was like, "Oh, that's not nice." But I mean, if I got called fat in elementary, dude, it hurt me. I'd cry. I just didn't like it. But then in middle school, slimmed up, got a little taller. And I was still kind of insecure. I like if it came to like dating, like I'd be like, man, how are all my friends just like talking to girls? I'm scared of that. Like I could have a girl flat out tell me, "Hey, I like you," and I'd be like, well, she probably don't like me, stuff like that. I couldn't take hints, but while everybody else was partying, we were playing video games at home, staying out of trouble. And then I remember in ninth grade, I was in a, I think it was physical science class. I said, you know what? The old Leigh is back. And I kind of got out of it. I was back to my old self. I was bold in how I acted in class, just goofy. I didn't care anymore. So, and after that, I don't know. It was uphill from there.
Even in high school, it's like you don't know what to do when somebody says they like you. Oh,
Oh
that's
yeah.
fantastic information. I don't know what to do
Oh
with
yeah.
that. I'm going to walk this way now.
Yeah, well, that or if I don't know, I just didn't know how to. I was a late bloomer when it came to dating, I guess is what I should say,
Same
because
here.
like everybody had what we call it game. I did not have that. I was too like I remember I brought a girl to a school dance, and everybody was like, yeah, she likes you. I just kind of pretended like she didn't, and it didn't work out. And I was like, well, probably because I didn't make her feel like I liked her and stuff. So I don't know. It was a weird situation, but it all worked out fine.
Okay, speaking of hunting and stuff. So I was talking with somebody the other day about Bigfoot, and I made the point. I was like, okay, here's the thing. Like somebody like Leigh, who's been hunting for years, would probably see something that looks like Bigfoot. Like this, it probably doesn't exist.
You're going up my alley now. I was
Oh
obsessed
no.
with Bigfoot. Yeah, I was obsessed with Bigfoot for ever since I was in elementary. There was a National Geographic show called "Is It Real?" and I remember seeing a Bigfoot episode, and I was just like this the whole time, staring at it. But I actually have two Bigfoot costumes. Like I've got an expensive one. I was obsessed with it. I used to want to do like Bigfoot costume pranks and stuff, like walk across the road. But when it comes to like the existence of Bigfoot, I don't know. I Part of me is like I think I'm more of like a 55% he's not real, and then like 45% could be. And the only reason I say that is because the claim is that Bigfoot is supposed to really exist in that like northwest region, because that's where the most popular Bigfoot clip came from, was like Bluff Creek, California. See, I'm giving you names. I'm giving you names of the
Yeah,
places.
the deets.
So I don't know if you've heard of a Les Stroud. He has a show called Survivor Man, and
Yes.
he records all of his own episodes. And he had an experience. He said, I'm not a liar. Never heard anything like it. He told an experience of like something running through the woods, crashing through, making ape sounds in like Alaska. And I was like,
Oh wow.
okay. But he made a point. He said, how many scientists do you see out in the woods looking? And he said, when you're in the north part of the North America flying, you're flying hours over just remote forest. And I said, well, that is a good point. So, I mean, who knows if it could be, just complete crap, or, who knows? Maybe there's small populations of Sam Squanch running around.
I think the what most scientists believe, I think anyway, is there was a animal called, I think it's giantess arpithecus.
Gigantopithecus.
There you go. See, you already know.
Yeah, it was like a 10-foot tall, like orangutan.
Yeah.
Related ape or something. But I think that was in Asia. But I mean, every single continent has stories of a Bigfoot like animal, which is strange too.
I mean, have you ever seen anything like out of the ordinary while you're out deer hunting?
Not really. I mean, I've seen an otter. That was probably the weirdest thing I've seen. But I mean, we've got black bear around here, and I've never seen one hunting. But I've seen one in person, and it was in Louisiana, but it was in North Louisiana where there's a larger population. But I mean, I don't know. And also, the thing that kind of hurts my feelings about trying to believe in Bigfoot is all the video that comes in is like from a Nokia 3. It's like, okay, why is we've got iPhones. Why are we not recording Bigfoot with a better quality camera?
Maybe they could do like what they did in Jurassic Park with the dinosaur bone, just take some from the giant orangutan and just make a new Bigfoot.
Yeah, or like hybrid. I think it was like Russia years ago. They were trying to like research how to make like ape human hybrids for like military purposes.
Oh,
I think so.
that is terrifying.
Yeah,
Hold on, I gotta look that up. Oh, okay. Here we go. Human ape hybridization experiments. In the 1920s, Ivanov carried out a series of experiments to create a human, non-human ape hybrid in French Guiana. 3 female chimpanzees were inseminated with human sperm, but he failed to create a pregnancy. Okay, that's probably for the best.
Oh yeah. There was a woman who volunteered to let like an orangutan try to impregnate her, but apparently right before it was going to happen, like it died.
There's some things that don't need to happen.
That's like to me, that's like some Hunger Games stuff. Anybody want to do it with an orangutan? Just a woman. I volunteer as tribute.
You get $1 billion.
Just why? You're not getting paid. Why not?
Oh, that's insane.
Sick.
I do think. So I saw a TikTok actually that it touched on Bigfoot briefly, but he said he believes that there are feral humans that live in national parks. I don't know if you've heard that TikTok before, but he said he was out camping with his buddies at it was one of the main national parks. What's the main one? What's it
Yellowstone?
Called? Yellowstone, yeah. They're out in the middle of nowhere, pitch black, middle of nowhere, and he's sleeping, and then they hear talking all around their tent. But they weren't speaking in English. They were speaking a weird, made-up language.
With deep voices, I've seen some of that. And some of the voice. I've seen some of those videos where there's some videos where people claim to have captured that language, and it's kind of. I guess it could be faked, and because I can imitate it myself, but also in Yellowstone, there's been people caught trying to basically be permanent residents out there camping forever and been caught stuff.
People who just want to be off the grid.
Yeah.
The guy said in the morning he looked outside of his tent and it was all just bare feet. There weren't
bare
any
feet?
all bare feet. Not like the animal, like human, like your foot, like like barefoot people, like no sandals, no shoes or anything.
Did he have any proof, like pictures or something?
No, he said this was in 2002.
So I guess the only problem with that is if there's no, if there's no documentation of it, it's like that's just anybody's story they can make up, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I feel like that could be something that actually exists. Not that Bigfoot doesn't exist. We don't know. Don't want you coming after me.
Oh yeah. I've been, one thing I've been really obsessed with is UFO stuff with all the Congress hearing and all that.
Oh yeah.
Really interested in the big uptick with UFO stuff, because just the idea that we live in an infinite universe, it's I do believe that there has to be life somewhere, and it's always weird trying to collide that with, I'm Christian, to where it's where does that fit in the Bible? So it's a really interesting thing for me, but I mean, I just think I don't know. It's real creepy, but I used to tell my friends all the time, it's why is life so boring? Why can't we be like a movie and then you see a monster's health bar forming in the air, but all of a sudden it's oh, hey, UFOs are real, oh, okay. So life might be like a movie and we don't know it yet.
Yeah. What did you think of those two aliens that they had in Mexico?
I thought that was stupid. To me, I feel like that's fake, but that one seems like rock carving. But I mean, I think there was a Congress meeting in the U.S. a month ago where a whistleblower kind of talked about some things he learned. And also, I don't know if you've heard of the Tic Tac UFO.
Yeah.
I guess the Navy pilot who was there recording that gave his testimony and stuff. But when you see military recording stuff like that, to me, it's okay, you can't really fake that. I don't believe.
Yeah, I actually talked about this with Ilan Rubin, and I was kind of leaning towards it could have been a really small drone from the military, and it was a new thing that nobody was supposed to see.
I watched something though. It said that I think, and I don't want to be wrong, but I think they said that who they were communicating with on their, I guess their headphones or whatever, their communication system. They apparently that Tic Tac traveled all the way to their starting point in a minute, and it was 60 miles away.
Yeah.
So if that's incredible speed, but. I think the cool thing about UFOs, I even watched a little podcast that Bob Lazar was on. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
And I listened to how, and he really does sound really credible in my opinion. But he talked about, how UFOs operate. Everybody thinks they fly side to side, but he said there's actually three little engine things that when it wants to go really fast, it turns like this. and then goes. But some of these, like even I think in the Tic Tac video, they show it doing like that, and I'm like, that's just like he said, So it's it's kind of neat to see it all these puzzle pieces kind of going together.
Yeah,
I just want to know what the end is.
We just skip the fast forward button just a little bit, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, we can't do that.
I'm confused as to those two aliens they showed, because it looked like from the video they put them under an X-ray machine and there was actual like skeletal anatomy there. That to me was like, okay, that's bizarre.
I didn't look that far. I just saw where they presented them, and to me, they just looked like rock carvings. I guess I'll look more into it just to see if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that was the only thing that surprised me. I was like, okay, if they're faking this for some reason, that's quite the elaborate thing for their government to do.
I just figured it was like Mexico's way of trying to. Wasn't it Mexico?
Yeah,
I just figured it was like Mexico's way of trying to be relevant. Like, since we just had a Congress hearing, they were like, well, we want one.
Here you guys go, check it out.
That's right.
Have you listened to any of what Elon Musk has to potentially offer for travel to Mars?
Not really, besides him trying to, the only thing I know is him trying to do the whole ship that can get there and come back.
Yeah, So I might be paraphrasing here, but I believe once every 6 months you can go. It takes 3 months to get there and then 3 months to come back. But eventually, he wants to colonize Mars just for the sake of saving consciousness.
Oh, yeah, I heard that. I like the idea. I guess my question is, how would we terraform Mars? And I've heard them talking about nuking the polar caps. But ironically about that, I've actually met apparently someone who's going to be one of the first people to be on a manned mission to Mars.
Really?
I used to work at a summer camp, and they'd have a speaker come in on some night services, and they got this girl, and I think her Instagram's like NASA Blueberry or something, and she was like 15 at the time or something, and she was like, I can speak 5 different languages, blah blah blah. She's super smart, but I see her on social media still working, like doing NASA school stuff, and I'm like, maybe she is. So I just thought that was cool, that if I might have met one of the first people to go to Mars, if they can do it.
What's her name? I need to have her on the podcast.
I can look her up real quick.
Yeah.
I think I'm following her. Let me see. Yeah, her username is NASA Blueberry. Her name is Alyssa Carson.
All right, hold on. I gotta follow her real quick. Astrobiologist. Okay, got it.
I had her autograph too. She had like little trading card things, and I got one and she signed it. I don't even know what I did with it.
Man, that's got to be so crazy to feel like what it is to be in space.
Just, I don't know. Can you imagine like going to a planet 3 months away, and like you're like, I'm on a whole other planet. Like that's kind of scary. But
that's a bizarre thought. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I've always said if I get to heaven, I think the first thing I'm going to ask God, can I just, have you played Minecraft?
Yeah.
I'm going to say, hey, look, can I just go into creative mode, fly around at all these planets and I just want to see things, because it sucks knowing that I'm going to die and not know what other planets are out there floating around, never know if Bigfoot's real, stuff like that.
That's a very interesting request you make. Yeah.
I don't not know.
Yeah.
That dinosaurs. I wish I could go back in time, and because we're never going to get to see what a dinosaur looked like, but we know they existed.
I'll take Jurassic Park's word for it. I don't need to find out.
Don't get me started on my dinosaur nerdology.
There's but I don't know. I feel okay with staying on Earth. I don't need to go to Mars. I'm okay with dying on Earth. That's perfectly fine with me.
Unless we were so advanced, they said, yeah, here, step in this portal, you'll be on another planet. I'd do it. Whatever.
Like from the game Portal.
Oh yeah, something like that. I saw, and I just remember, speaking of portals, I saw the most bizarre video. I don't know if it's real, but I'm not going to lie, it kind of looked real. There was some plane that went missing, and somebody said this is actual footage. The video had like 1.2 million likes on it, and it was like a plane. It looked pretty realistic. I mean, I feel like I'm good at calling out, oh, BS, CGI. It didn't look like that. And it also had a side by side of like thermal version of it with three, the plane that went missing. It showed like 3 UFOs flying around it. And all of a sudden a flash and a portal and all of it's gone.
Really?
So I don't know if it's real, but if that's some leaked footage of aliens abducting a whole plane, that's kind of wild.
That's concerning.
Yeah.
Whoa! It was a plane.
Yeah. I mean, it might be complete crap. I don't know, but the video, I'm not going to lie, looked pretty convincing.
Yeah, why don't you send me that? Now I'm curious.
Like, watch till the end.
Oh, okay, there's a thing flying around it, where the creepy music doesn't help you feel not uneasy. Okay, yeah, that's a freaky video.
Yeah, I mean, because I heard somebody talking about, if UFOs are real and their technology is real of what we know it would be, they said they're probably 50,000 years more advanced than we are. So it's like, who's to say that something like that could transport a whole airplane is not real? Because I mean, if they're willing to get to our planet, it's like, how did they get here in the first place?
Wait, how convenient would portals be?
Oh, dude, I wish I'd save me some trips to
never have to drive again.
Oh yeah. Anytime I get one of those quizzes on Facebook that says, what superpower would you rather, like flying or teleporting? I say teleporting.
Yeah.
I'd go to some rich person's house and take their family jewels, sell it, and I'd be set. I'd just teleport there, come back home. Then I'd go to jail and I'd teleport back home. Go to a science lab to be tested on, teleport back home.
Can you imagine just going to like an airport, but instead of airplanes, you just have like a portal you walk through to like wherever you're going, Phoenix, Atlanta, MSP. You just walk through.
You think it would hurt going through a portal? And I don't know. That's weird.
Some kind of like gravity disruption has to happen, I think, because I got really invested into this idea when I found the game Portal. I was like, there has to be a way to do this, but
there probably is. I don't know. It's not that we know of it. That are like wormholes. I don't know if you've seen that little demonstration. Like, here's one planet, here's the other, and it's on a piece of paper. But if you grab it and poke a hole through it, you can get to the other side a lot quicker. I don't know. And it's like, what are humans going to be around? Are we going to survive that long to see stuff like that? And that's the other thing about like death that I hate, is that I'm not going to get to see all this cool stuff. But whatever, I'll settle for the iPhone 16.
I feel like we're fairly advanced right now, because I mean, when I was a kid, and so were you, I think we had the phone that was on the wall, right? You remember those? And now we've got this thing in our pockets with fake humans that can talk to us and have a fairly good conversation at this point.
And I mean, we've got a lot of proof every year that goes by that human technology is advancing rapidly. So, yeah. I mean, I'm almost 30 now. Who knows in 30 more years what's technology going to be like?
Can you imagine?
I know I can, but
I mean, I everybody's talking about AI right now, but I don't know. I think AI will be like a tool. Like, it's really exciting because it's new now, but I think like anything humans get, it's a shiny new toy, and then we eventually find something else to be like, oh wow, look at this.
I wonder how good AI will get, though. I wonder if because I know Elon Musk, warns about it a lot, but is AI going to get so good? Because I mean, we've heard the music AI and it sounds great. So it's like, is that going to put a lot of people out of jobs? Is AI going to put movie makers out of jobs? Like movie writers, all kinds of stuff. But I don't know. That's kind of a scary situation.
Kat Callahan, who I talked to, actually brought this up because she brought up the movie industry. You had Blockbuster, right? But when Redbox came along, what are they going to do? And then streaming came along and then got rid of Redbox. So there's always a new thing that comes along.
I just wonder if we're ever going to hit a point to where the new is scary, I guess. Because I remember the first time they showed me Chat GPT, it freaked me out. I'm not gonna lie. I said this thing because I used to. I've thought about using it for social media, and I've kind of gotten some ideas. It's not the best to give me the ideas that I want, but like if I felt uncreative, I was like, write me 15 skit ideas for kids in a classroom. They would pull out 15 skit ideas, that I could kind of try to make my own, but I think it has a lot of opportunity to be used for good, but also it could be, used for bad. So who knows?
Yeah, that's where like you need moderators in the creation of the coding and how the algorithm works and everything.
Right.
Apparently, Mr. Beast said he's going to have an AI version of himself when he's dead. Like that's.
I saw where he said. Have you seen the part where he said when he dies, he's going to have all the other people, all their guys on the thing, put their hand on the tombstone, whoever's the last one on it gets, Yeah.
I actually did a video for him. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, I did. Where you stayed in a box.
Yeah.
How'd you get in contact with him?
So I just applied on his website. I like instantly heard back, and they were like, "Okay, yeah, here's the video we want you to make." So I knocked it out like probably a couple of weeks later, and then I never heard back. So I was like, oh well.
Weren't you just trying to get him on the podcast or something?
So it was for a producer job in North Carolina on his production lot. That would have been dope, but it's all good. I had fun making that video, being in a box.
Yeah, I mean, at least you can say you did it for him.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do it. I've seen people do videos of like, hey, we're staying the night in Walmart, and they'll find a spot in Walmart and try to not get kicked out. I've thought that'd be cool. I wish I had friends that would do that in person, but my friends don't like to leave the house, so I can't do cool stuff like that.
Have you seen the movie Employee of the Month? Okay, in that movie, they have like a whole secret hideout, but they have to use a skyjack to get in there. You've never seen it?
No, like I said, I live under a rock.
That's it. Well, this movie came out in like 2006. It's not like the greatest movie, but this scene alone is like, okay, that's pretty cool. Employee of first thing that comes up, secret room, gear on. He gets on this thing, and there you go. Boom, you got your hidden room.
It is cool.
You got like a little loft there, TV, Xbox.
I remember that reminds me. There's a store here called Ivan Smith, and they sell furniture and stuff. And I remember I thought they'd have like little walls and little sections of like mini room situations, and I thought it was the coolest thing going into a store, just seeing like little things like that hidden away. Yeah.
I mean, you can still kind of go into like Lowe's, and they have a setup sort of like that.
Mm-hmm, yeah, we got like one called Brown's Furniture, Haverty's, and stuff like that. But Lowe's has some stuff like that too,
where people pretend like it's their kitchen.
Oh yeah, exactly.
No, we're in the store.
Yeah. I saw one where it's like, man, you got to trust the process, trust the grind. You could accomplish anything. He was like, here's my new kitchen, but he was actually in like a Home Depot. Yeah, that's fake it till you make it. I did that one time. I had to rent. My car was in the shop, and I had to rent a Range Rover, a nice red one, and I definitely took a picture and put a cop to Range Rover today. I mean, it'd be cool to have one. That was pretty nice, but I just don't know if I'd have a useful one.
I'm trying to think if I ever did anything like that when I was like a dumb teenager. If I pretended to like, not that I can remember off the top of my head.
Well, I also had another rent car not too long ago. It was a convertible Mustang, and that was the coolest I ever felt. Every time I drive out there, I took the top off, and I said, "Man, I'm gonna have to get a convertible one day." But I don't. It was so weird, man. It's like when I took the top off, I was like, "Man, people are gonna think I'm trying to show off," and I was, So
were your hair blown in the wind?
Yeah, exactly.
There's a really cool car. It's called a Cadillac CL. They never released it, but it's just a beautiful looking car. It's a convertible, but it's kind of a mix of like new and old school.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's just
what's that called?
A Cadillac CL.
How much is that?
Nobody knows. They never released it. It's just a concept car. I don't know. Look at it.
That's the coolest looking thing I've ever seen. Yeah.
They I believe they just used it in the Entourage movie and maybe made a couple other ones, but that's first time I ever saw it, I was like, oh man, that is just a really cool design.
if I was ever super rich, I'd pay you an arm and a leg for something like that.
Oh, same here. I'm kind of, I don't know. The older I get, the more I just like your standard black SUV. That's just kind of
Really?
just kind of like slick, cool, big.
I just bought a new Tacoma, and that's only because I do stuff like camping and stuff, and I feel like every man's got to have a truck because it's like if I want to haul trash off or go get something, I can't put that in a car, but I would like to have like a real like like not I'm not saying like a Lamborghini, but some sort of luxury vehicle like a Mustang or something one day. But I can't waste my money right now.
Have you been in a Lambo?
No, I've not.
So I'm not a super big guy, but even for me, it was just
Really?
yeah. I just sat in. I was like, oh wow, this is like I don't know if I like it in here because it was super cramped.
Oh, I bet.
It's a beautiful design, but
Best compliment I got in that convertible is somebody said, "Yeah, that car suits him all right." And I was like, "Okay, I look like a Mustang guy. I don't know if that's good or bad, but
I had a friend growing up who insisted that he knew what he was doing on cars all the time. And as you can imagine, he would just screw
butcher it."
things up. Oh, yeah. So he had this truck, and I'll never forget this. We were at the gas station, and he put diesel in it. He's like, "Oh no, yeah, it's a truck. Like it's fine." So we drive back to his house. We got maybe halfway down the street, and the truck starts going, and then we just glide back into his driveway. And then this is when we were like 16 too, so I'm sure his dad was very happy with that decision.
Oh yeah, I'm not a very trusting person a lot, but there are reasons I'm not. So, and that kind of stuff is one.
Yeah, if you don't know, you don't know. That's why I say
and it's okay.
I don't know.
It's okay to not know. You don't have to fake it all the time.
Like our compulsive liar friends that we had growing up. I know how to do it. Don't tell me how.
The worst people, in my opinion, are the ones that the smartest person they know is themselves, and I can't stand that. If I don't know something, I want to learn. I don't want to fake anything. So
there's what's that guy's name? He was on Joe Rogan and he like could not say I don't know. He's got hair sort of like mine, but it's poofier. Glass. I think his name is Adam.
I don't know,
but I listened to the whole episode and you could tell like that's kind of the person he was. Like he refused to say I don't know. He always had to give some sort of hypothesis.
Yeah.
Like, you make me want to sink into my chair, man.
It's one of those moments to where I would love to say, "Hey, man, just relax." But it's like you're a bad guy if you correct anybody nowadays.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? How dare you?
How dare you insult? Are you trying to insult my intelligence? No, I'm just trying to say you're wrong.
Okay. So I recently we kind of briefly talked about this before. There's a thing called troll farms. Have you heard of those?
I have heard of that, where they make like fake Twitter accounts to spread like.
Yeah, this is brand new to me.
I don't get the point. Do they just make up clickbaitish stuff, or?
So there's kind of, from what I looked up, there's two groups they belong to. It can either be for a special interest group or to spread disinformation about certain topics.
I hate that. I hate that the internet has really changed how we look at things in that aspect, because it's like, now it's like if it walks like a duck, it's a duck. But now with fake news and clickbaitish stuff on the internet, if it walks like a duck, it might be a chicken, ostrich, a rooster. Who knows? I don't know. It's really unfortunate.
Well, like who's paying? Like, because you have to have some sort of like investment, right? You get some money back on this. So like, who's paying the troll farms? Like, there's got to be some sort of incentive here.
Well, I mean, if whoever made it is intelligent enough to create like bot accounts like that, I'm sure they can kind of manipulate how many clicks they get and eventually get like sponsors, I guess. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some sort of, I don't know, maybe crypto could be attached to it.
Well, I know like on Facebook, I get paid a little bit from like when I share like a a meme picture, if it gets views and stuff, I'll get some revenue from it. So it's like if they share something clickbaitish, gets views, who knows? It might earn them some money. So
Yeah, it could be. But yeah, that's interesting. I just learned about that and I was like, that is crazy. Somebody would take the time to do that. But worst case scenario, what do? You just banned.
Yeah, or just turn off the computer, turn off the phone.
Yeah, even in real life, if there's somebody you don't like, just point right at them and say banned, and then walk away.
Yeah. Do this, and when they keep talking, say, just keep walking away. Yeah, you're banned.
I have one final question for you. Okay, like, is there a type of video or a certain video that you just go to that just instantly makes you laugh?
I try not to do too much scrolling, because I don't know. I've got a problem already with being on my phone too much, and I try not to. But I don't know if I've got a go-to. Mine is always like poop humor. Like when I send memes to my friends, it's like stupid ones of like, I don't know, like a monkey typing on a desk or something and just says Mondays or something. I don't know. Yeah. I don't really have like a go-to. It's just mine is completely random humor.
Random men like just screaming is hilarious to me. I don't know why, or like certain Tom Green bits. I just can't stop laughing at him.
Funny videos to me are the ones that everybody else is like, that's so stupid.
Yeah, I know. There's one where a guy just goes up to random people in a city and he's not screaming, but he's just like
he's like driving by.
Look at these diamonds, baby.
I saw one. It might be the same guy who was like trying to say, "Hey, can you tell me where the?" Not making sense at all. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. All right, man. Leigh McNasty. Can I call you? Do I call you Leigh McClendon? Leigh McNasty?
Yeah.
Shasty McNasty.
Whatever you want. Yeah, I'm not picky on my name choice. Yeah, I didn't name myself. So to anybody like, why is his name that? I don't know. I didn't name myself that.
There actually was a TV show called Shasty McNasty way back.
Ironically, before I got popular on the internet, there was another creator. He does YouTube stuff, and his username is McNasty. So I jumped on his podcast, and we kind of had that because everybody would say, "Are you him?" And then they'd ask him, "Are you him?" So we finally got that kind of debate settled.
So there's a drummer with the same name as me in a band called As I Lay Dying.
Really?
I've had people like message me being like, "Oh, I'm such a huge fan. I love your drumming," and I'm like, "Yeah, you have the wrong person." But thank you.
Watch my podcast.
Exactly. Here's a link. All right, you guys can check him out obviously on TikTok and everywhere else social media is available. Leigh, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me again.
We are. Oh, no, that's not it. That's not the stop record button. Here we go.